today at CLV we are going to be making fish and papillote, which is actually parchment paper pouch, and the food is baked into the parchment paper, and it's a healthy, light alternative. So what I have here today is some flounder, and I have a piece of parchment paper which is 16 inches by 12 inches. And this technique is it's kind of old school, and it's a French technique, but you fold your parchment paper in half, give it a nice clean seal there, and then you're going to cut a heart shape. So if you remember when you were little kids, you would cut hearts out of a piece of colored paper. This is pretty much the same technique. So we're going to cut a heart shape. We're going to start down here at the bottom of the fold. You just use your kitchen shears. And you want to use parchment paper for this. You don't want to use wax paper. And I like to keep the edges, just kind of trim around that. And that's your shape. And you can see it's a parchment heart. And this can be used for anything. You can use this for fish, chicken, any type of seafood. Works really well. It's a lighter option. It's like steaming it in its own juices. So now we're going to fill this pouch and wrap it. So we have all of our vegetables and herbs here that we're going to put into our papillote. I've got a shallot. We're going to just dice that. I like to get all my ingredients together first, and then we'll build our pouch. These can be prepped a day in advance and put in your refrigerator, and then pull it out and bake them. So we're gonna dice our shallot. I'm gonna put that aside there. And I've got some nice asparagus spears that we're gonna cut and put in our pouch as well. You can use any kind of vegetables you would like, but we're gonna cut the spears and keep those for our pouch. I've got some fresh lemon, some tomato, some zucchini. So the zucchini, we're just gonna cut a couple nice thin slices. Set that there. And our tomato, same thing, we're going to cut a nice slice of tomato. That's going to go in our pouch as well. Got some shredded carrots also that we're going to put in our pouch, and fresh dill, which is always nice. I like to pick the bottom stems off and to put it in whole. Or you could chop this, either way, whatever you prefer. And some fresh lemon, which we are going to zest into our pouch when everything is assembled inside. So now all our ingredients are together, and we've got our heart parchment, and we're going to build our papillote. So you're going to lay your heart shape down on the cutting board, and you're going to fill half of that heart. So I like to start with my fish first. You can use salmon or cod. In this case, we're going to use a piece of flounder. And this is a healthy dish. You're not adding a whole lot of seasoning to it because you've got all these nice herbs, but I like to roll it up there, and you're going to lay that on your one half of your heart. So now you're going to put the rest of your ingredients in. So we're going to add some asparagus. And everything is raw here. You add everything raw because what's going to happen is it's going to cook in its own juices. We've got this nice zucchini here. We're going to lay that in there as well. Some sliced tomato. Some of that shallot that we've chopped up earlier. And we've got a little bit of shredded carrot. You can add potatoes to this if you would like. So there's our carrot. And I've got our fresh dill. I like to just put a little herb on top of that. We've also got some fresh lemon zest. You can do a little lemon zest on there and see how lovely that looks. And if you wanted to at this point, you could take, cut your lemon and put a little bit of juice in there as well. I've also got some butter. We're just going to take a little bit of butter and put that in. You don't need a whole lot. Lay that in there. Now it's time to fold our parchment and throw it in the oven and bake it. So you're going to fold that over. I kind of like to just take my hand and smash it down a little bit. And you're going to start at the top of the heart. I'm going to turn it sideways here. And all you're going to do is start folding because you want to seal those edges. So you're going to fold it over once, push it down, fold it over twice, and push it down. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. So all we're doing is just making those little folds because we want to seal that package. And you can just do whatever works for you, but I like to just keep going around and folding. And you can see how I'm doing that. And then the next little fold. And then another little fold. Sometimes you just got to kind of press it down and keep your paper lined up there. You can see how I'm making that little crease. And it doesn't matter if your paper wrinkles, it's okay. And then once you get down to the end, I like to just do an additional fold there. And this is the bottom of your heart. And you can either twist it or you can tuck it under. But I like to just do a little twist. And that holds all your ingredients in for baking. So you can see how the pouch is set up here. This can be put in the refrigerator or it can go right into the oven. And we have a sheet tray here. So it's nice and sealed. You want to make sure it's nice and sealed. And onto a sheet tray and into the oven we're going to go with it. And you want to cook your fish. You have to use a thermometer to check the internal temperature. All those nice veggies in there, but it should be nice and hot, and you want to try to avoid cutting it unless you absolutely have to until it's the time of service. So now our fish came out of the oven, and we're getting ready to serve our fish and papillote. The best way to do this is to use a kitchen shears. You could also take a knife and poke it, but I like to use a shears. And remember, everything is going to be hot and there's going to be steam in there, so you want to be very careful. So I like to just take the top and pinch the paper up, make a little cut in there, get your kitchen shears under, and I like to just cut it away, cut it in an X shape. You can see how that looks, and pull it back. This is all really nice and juicy. It cooked in its own liquid. You can see that. And be careful, the contents are very hot. And you're going to sit that over onto your plate. And there you have it, your fish and papillote.